Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Bahamas. What we have today is the launch of the 2026 Carifta trials on the road to Grenada. At our head desk today, we have the president of the BAAS, Mr. Jamaica Archer. We have the assistant manager of Team Bahamas for Carifta, Ms. O'Shea Smith. We have our president of the Coaches Association, who will be speaking on behalf of the head coach of Team Bahamas, Mr. Darren Lightburn. We have our deputy CEO, who will be speaking on behalf of the CEO, Ms. Laura Pratt-Charlton. And we have the president of the region, president of the NACAC Association, Mr. Mike Sands. Now, so far, we have a good number of qualifiers for the Carifta Games. You have, I think, it's in excess of 30, close to 40. Right, our trials are set for the 20th to the 22nd of March. It's kind of late in the season, but we expect it to be well attended. Our local athletes so far have been turning in some exceptional performances. Collegiate athletes have been turning in exceptional performances. Some events have multiple qualifiers. If you look at the under-17 girls, 100 meters in particular, 6 qualifiers in that event. Like I said, I think it's close to 40 qualifiers so far. Normally when we go into Carifta, in the Carifta trials, that is, we have about 40 to 50 qualifiers. So we are on track for some exceptional things happen at the trials. Everybody knows that last year we had one of our best performances ever at Carifta, the best in 41 years. We won 16 gold medals, and our goal is to exceed that this year. And I believe that we're on pace to exceed that, right? So leading things off today, my name is Sheldon Longley, by the way. I'm the Vice President of Public Relations and Marketing for the BAAS. And leading off today, we're going to have remarks by Mr. Darren Lightburn, who's going to speak on behalf of Mr. Alexis Roberts, who's the head coach of Team Bahamas.
Good afternoon to all. Grateful to lead remarks on behalf of Alexis Roberts as the president of the Coaches Association. And we're headed into it with a good mindset. Like Mr. Sheldon would have said, that we had an excellent year last year. And what we strive for this year is to actually push our athletes a little bit further this year, and also to train up our coaches a little bit different this year to produce and be able to go into Grenada this year and have an exceptional performance. Like Coach said, Mr. Longley said, we have about 30 plus 40 athletes. Actually, right now, our GGLSA is going on. We just got 2 qualifiers in the under-17 girls 100 meters and the under-17 boys 100 meters. So that is good stuff. And then we lead to BAAS next year, where we sure have some more qualifiers and be able to go into there, right? We're just leading into Team Bahamas, into Carifta, to make sure that we have the appropriate coaches there to be able to lead our team into what we need and to prepare them mentally as they step on the track and to guide them to winning all the gold medals at Carifta 2026. All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lightburn. Now, every year, Carifta is one of our largest, but not one of, it is the largest national team that we assemble in track and field. We normally have about a 70 to 80 member team. And last year in Trinidad and Tobago, we had an 80-member team. So it's always a tough task to manage Carifta, right? So on that note, speaking on behalf of the management of Team Bahamas, it's going to be the assistant manager for Team Bahamas this year, Ms. O'Shea Smith.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the team manager, Sophia Hicks, my name is O'Shea Smith. I'll be assisting her. I just feel as though we should know who the composition of the team is. The head manager will be Alexis Roberts. The athletes will be chaperoned by Sonia Black, Raquel Martin, Garfield Morrison, and Aquino Demerit. Our expectation of the athletes and the parents is to assist us as much as possible with complying with anything that we ask them to in reference to their passports, their sizes, and when they need assessments by the physio, please be on time and adhere to all requests that are made by us. It is very difficult, and we'll try to get out information as much as possible ahead of time. That's pretty much all that I have at this time. The work really starts once the team is named. So that's all I have for today.
An important point as well is always uniforms. Uniforms is always an issue every year. So I know we're not going to know who makes the team until after Carifta trials. But in some events where you have, I guess, one qualifier already, exceptional qualifiers, and you pretty much know you're going to be on the team, it's good to get your information into the management crew so they can start to put all of that together. Because putting together 80 uniforms in a short period of time is a very tough task, right? So as soon as you qualify, whether you are on the team or not, well, you know, if there's only one qualifier in that event, there's a good chance that you'll be on the team, right? So get your information in. This goes out to the athletes and the parents. Get your information into the management team as soon as possible so we could start to put all of that information together and make sure our athletes are well equipped with the right sizes going into Grenada. Now, speaking next, supposed to be Mr. Tito Moss. He's the Vice President of Technical Operations for the BAAs. I see he is not here right now, so I'm hopeful that Mr. Archer could cover a lot of those areas that he is supposed to talk about. But I can tell you that we had a meeting recently where a lot of decisions were made as to the composition of Team Bahamas, right? Every year there are questions about what we're going to do if we have multiple qualifiers on an event, and there are collegiate qualifiers. How are you going to pick the team? As we all know, only 2 could go on an event, right? So clarify any type of discrepancies that might arise. Our president, Rumiko Archer, is going to talk about that. Let's welcome him to the podium.
Good afternoon. Well, Carifta is always the most impassioned event of the year. It is when all of the parents really gang up on the B3As because everyone wants to go to the Carifta Games. I think it is always a national honor to be able to make a Team Bahamas team going to any Carifta edition, and certainly it also comes with its share of challenges. And so, as they say, the devil is in the details, eh? So once again, I just wanted to say good afternoon to all of our athletes and coaches, parents, the media, and the Bahamian public. This is quite a unique scenario because what we've decided to do is, because of the time that we're hosting this press conference, we thought that it would be necessary for us to live stream this event only so that we can be sure that the information that we are about to share is disseminated properly. So track and field, as you know, is not just a sport in the Bahamas. It is a part of our national identity. From primary school sports days to international stage, athletics is woven into who we are. I think it was Sheldon who mentioned that in 2025, the Carifta Games, which was held in Port of Spain, Trinidad, we delivered one of the best performances we've ever done in the history of our sport, spanning back to some 41 years. And so today we gather for the Carifta Trials announcement, and we stand on a great deal of momentum. We're not just satisfied that we have achieved higher standards last year. We are prepared to do even better this time around. Last year was epic for the Bahamas in track and field. But if it resonates with the Bahamian people, let me say it very clearly. We ain't no fluke. We are back, and we're back stronger than ever. Our success is not luck. It's a product of sacrifice. It's our discipline. It's the coaching excellence, the parental support, and it is our belief that we can be just as good as any country, not just in the region, but in the world. And so what we are witnessing is not just momentum. What you're witnessing over the years of track and field is a movement. And this B3As, I believe, in spite of its agitation to and fro, I think friction produces the best results. Pressure produces diamonds. And so I am proud of the legacy of our illustrious federation, and I think that the proof is always in the pudding. This year we are poised to exceed last year's performances. We have new talent donning the Carifta stage, and they will be here for the first time along with some of the old veterans. I know that some names resonate with the Bahamian people. I can assure you that you will have not only those fabled names, but you will see even more that will debut for the first time, and we believe that they are our future Olympians. We're confident that the Bahamas will do well, not because we say so, but already we have seen performances at the international and regional level that puts our athletes in their respective age groups to world-class status. Let me be clear, we do not intend to simply send a strong team, we intend to send the best team. And by that I mean that it isn't just lining up and going head-to-head competition, but we've considered every aspect of this great dynamics of a Carifta trials. The standard we have set is to protect the integrity of the team, to develop an athlete and the reputation of this country. And the sustainability of our program is etched in what we have continued to produce each time we talk about how one qualifies. So we all understand that head-to-head competition at trials remains of paramount importance. When athletes line up, and performance on the day does matter. However, we are also cognizant that some of our athletes are also competing offshore in collegiate and high school programs and may have legitimate academic or competition obligations. In those circumstances, should those circumstances arise, a comparative analysis of performance will be conducted. The analysis will consider the quality of performance, the consistency of the mark, wind readings and conditions, championship readiness, and the overall strategic needs of Team Bahamas. And that's not only just for our athletes, it also applies to our coaching complement. So there have been instances where coaches have been named to the team, and based on the composition of the team and the scheduling of competition, we as a federation reserve the right to identify a team that best suits our needs. The objective is not one of convenience. The objective is one of fairness. And ultimately, what is in the best interest of Team Bahamas? At the end of the day, there's often the cry that, oh, why my child didn't make the team? He established the qualifying standard. As Darren has indicated, there are multiple qualifiers, but that is not the conclusive position that we take, because if you have 8 or 10 qualifiers, perhaps in this scenario now, you still can only take the best 2, and possibly some additional ones for relay duty. But at the end of the day, we have to consider all of the aspects, all of the circumstances, and arrive at the best conclusion. And I can tell you that the executives very rigorously have these discussions, but this is not, like I said, a discussion of convenience. It is a discussion that takes us to the best result that we can possibly achieve. And so to the parents, thank you for your early mornings and travel and sacrifice and belief. To the coaches, your quiet work produces loud results. We see you, we value you, and we are committed to transparency and collaboration. Carifta is not just about medals, it is about building the next Olympian. It is about discipline, education, and character. And when Bahamian athletes step onto the track, they represent more than themselves. They represent 400,000 dreams. The Bahamas has always punched above its weight class in athletics, and this generation understands that legacy. So this year, we will be moving forward united, federation, coaches, athletes, parents, and a nation. The message is a very simple message, as I said earlier, and that is, we are no fluke. We are rebuilding, we are reinforcing, and we are back stronger than ever. May the best performances rise at these trials. May excellence define our selection, and may Team Bahamas once again make this nation proud. Thank you.
All right, guys, as I mentioned earlier, there are close to 40 qualifiers for the Carifta Games so far for the Bahamas, right? Actually, by my count, I have 40 exactly, and that's the two that Tyron would have spoken about that qualified this morning. I can't remember all the names, but I can tell you from my count, there are 12 under-20 boys who have qualified. There are 10 in the under-17 girls, including 7 now in the under-17 girls 100 meters. This is why it's important to come to trials. We had another qualifier this morning in the under-17 girls 100 meters, so now that brings it up to 7 qualifiers in the under-17 girls 100 meters. We have 9 in the under-20 girls and 8 in the under-20 boys. That adds up to 40, right? 12, 8, 20, 40 now. So, yeah, like I said, I can't call all the names. I don't know all of the names off the top of my head, but I can tell you in the under-20 boys high jump, there are 4 qualifiers. Under-20 boys triple jump, 4 qualifiers. Under-20 girls triple jump, 3 qualifiers. In addition to that, we have a lot of athletes who have qualified in multiple events, right? She's a special athlete. I have to call her name. Jose Johnson has qualified in 4 events in the under-17 girls, right? And we look at what Zion Davis has done in the under-20 boys. He has qualified in 3 events. There are athletes who I believe was a newcomer, because I never heard about him before this year. Joshua Wilson qualified in 2 events. There's our athlete right now in Jamaica who I believe is only 14 or 15 years old, qualified in 2 events in the under-17 boys, 110-meter hurdles and 200 meters. There's another athlete of the Grand Baaa who's only 13 years old, just turned 14, actually competes in the under-15 division, qualified under 17 boys 200 meters. There's an under-17 girl from Grand Bahama, Kiesha Thomas, a lot of us remember, qualified in 3 events. There's another 15-year-old from New Providence, goes to St. Augustine's College, qualified in 2 events, Teray Falls. You know, so you see we're on track. We're on track to match, if not surpass, the Carifta count from last year, right? And that's our focus right now. We believe we could do better than 16 gold medals, and that's the aim. We're closing the gap, slowly closing the gap between us and Jamaica, right? And hopefully this year we can get closer to them. I noticed that the head coach for Team Bahamas is here now, so I'm going to let him speak a little bit on his task, what he expects from the athletes, and yeah, Team Bahamas. So Mr. Alexis Roberts.
Good afternoon. All right, so thank you, Sheldon. Like the persons before me have already stated, we intend to field a good team. And so once you come to the trials, you'll definitely see stiff competition. We've had, like you said, 40 athletes already qualified, and we intend to have more at the trials. Now, this year has been a little rough for us with the weather, so we usually have more qualifiers than that. But once we get to the trials, you'll see a lot of, I call it showdowns. Okay? Now, say it again? Yeah, weather pertaining. But it'll still be a showdown. Everybody wants to get on the team. And like Mr. Archer said, we only could take the top 2. So we have a tall task ahead of us in choosing the right persons who would have fit the criteria to make the team. So we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm the head coach, and I had a lot of great coaches ahead of me that paved the way, and I was able to see how it's done and know the do's and don'ts of getting it done at Carifta. We're going back into Grenada. We had a good showing the last time we were there, and we tend to do the same thing here. Okay. So we have a team of coaches that is very competent, that I'm sure that we'll get the job done, help these kids do what they're supposed to do once we get there. Like every year, we take a team of coaches. We're going to field about 80 athletes once it's all said and done. A management team and physio and medical team. We're all going to come together as a team and make sure that the athletes are being productive and make sure that, like I said, we get it done. All right? Mentally and physically, we're going to be ready. All right? And
All right, guys, like I mentioned earlier, our president of the region is here, of the NACAC region, Mr. Mike Sands. It's actually their event. Carifta is their event. So we cannot conclude the press conference today without allowing Mr. Sands to say a few words. So. Yeah, before I get into that, Carifta Trials, once again, is going to be held March 20th to 22nd at the original Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? And what we have done this year, same thing what we did last year, the trials format is following the same as the actual Carifta games. So when our athletes get in Grenada, they have a feel of competition and how their event's supposed to run, what times they're supposed to run, and all of that, right? So it's going to be the same format as the Carifta games. It's going to be held Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, March 20th to the 22nd at the original Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. I think we get underway at around 6 o'clock on Friday. It's 5 or 6 o'clock. 5 o'clock on that Friday. Saturday is at 12 noon. Okay, 12 or 1. But the schedule will be forthcoming. And then Sunday we get underway like around 12 noon as well. All right, but like I said, the schedule will be forthcoming at a later time. We're going to invite Mr. Sands to say a few words on behalf of NACAC.
Thanks, Sheldon. Let me begin by wishing Team Bahamas all the best. The Carifta Games will be experiencing its 53rd edition in Grenada, April 4th to the 6th. Carifta is the pride and joy of NACAC athletics. It is the preeminent junior championship in the world. It is the longest serving championship that has been taking place. The Bahamas has been a part of Carifta since 1973. The Bahamas is one of the largest teams that always compete in Carifta, and the expectation is always very high. Carifta brings together the Caribbean family, and everyone looks forward to it because it's not just about the competition, but it's about the camaraderie. It's kind of a reunion, if you will, of persons that have been on the scene for a number of years. Carifta produces and has produced from its inception. All of our athletes, for the most part, have come through the Carifta program, and so everyone looks forward to participating. I'm talking about the athletes in particular. But I can also tell you that we just came back from Grenada and having meetings with the LOC, and if the games had to happen next week, they would be ready, having just held the games 2 years ago. They're very excited about it, and they're working very assiduously to ensure that the competition come off as one of the better ones ever. So I'm pleased to be able to stand here and say to you that we are looking forward to the participation of Team Bahamas as well as all the other member federations. We expect to have about 650 plus athletes from all of the member federations. So Team Bahamas has its targets on its back, particularly when you land on the island with Bahamas Air. It looks like you come to do business, and so I want to congratulate you all for the performances that you've been doing so far, and best of luck going into your Carifta trials so that you will have the best team to present to the region and indeed by the world. We are making efforts to have this event broadcast at minimum, live stream, at the widest audience ever between the United States, Canada, and also with World Athletics on their YouTube channel as well. So there's a lot of things in the works. And so, as Sheldon or someone said, just be mindful that you be representing the athletes that is and the coaches when you put on those colors. And I saw Ms. Charlton has got all her colors lined up. Even though I see you all have changed the colors a little bit, I can tell you, not the colors, the order of wearing, but I can tell you that everyone looks forward to Team Bahamas' participation because the Bahamas brings an element to the sport, which is the entertainment side of it, which is one of the things that we're looking at in World Athletics, fan engagement and entertainment. And the Bahamas, without the Congos, we're not so sure where Carifta would be. So at the end of the day, you know, Bahamas has been a major, major stakeholder and contributor to the success and to the promotion of the event. So thank you all for your support, and we look forward to it. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you again, Mr. Sands. I cannot stress enough how important it is for parents also to get in contact with, once your athlete would have qualified, once your child would have qualified, well, for exceptional qualifiers, because there's no guarantee that they're going to be on the team. But we know Kiestra is going to be on the team. We know Jose is going to be on the team. Right? The exceptional athletes, it's important to get in contact with the management of Team Bahamas so they can start to put together your child's sizes for uniforms. There's also a Carifta charter that's filling up very, very fast, right? And we're going to allow Ms. Laura Charlton to come to speak to us on that right now. There are also accommodations that you have to fill up in Grenada as soon as possible because they're getting filled up very fast as well, right? So, Ms. Charlton, can you come speak on this on the Carifta charter, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, the charter is filling up quickly, as always and as usual. Team Bahamas, friends and family, as well as the team, arrives at Carifta on our national flag carrier. And I think that is the greatest statement that we can make once we arrive to any of the Carifta games. This year will be no exception. We do have a charter that's going for friends and family. We are taking deposits for seats. Seats are going very quickly, and literally after the last performance on the night of the trials, you would be challenged to get a seat because by that time, parents would have known the positions in which their children would have placed, and then the following day, we would have the naming of our team. So with that being said, to reserve your seat, it's $200. To reserve your seat, you can reach out to me or anyone from the executive team to get more information. My contact is 357-3109. That's 357-3109. Send a WhatsApp message. $200 reserves your seat. That $200 is not refundable, but you can transfer it to someone else. And trust me, for every seat that we have on that plane, once trials is done, we have at least 20 to 30 persons lining up for that seat. So parents, I urge you, even if your child is one of those 7 qualifiers, 6 qualifiers, 4 qualifiers, reserve your seat. Worst case scenario, if they're not named, you can transfer it, but it will be challenging to find a seat should you need it and you didn't reserve your seat. So for $200, you can reserve your seat. The cost of the flight round trip is $1,100. That's a direct flight from Nassau to Grenada on Bahamas Air, leaving on Thursday, the 2nd of April, returning on Tuesday, the 7th of April. We don't have any guaranteed times as yet because it's going to be based on availability of the aircraft and staff from Bahamas Air. In addition to that, we do have T-shirts and polo shirts that we have ordered for the occasion. Mr. Sands mentioned we are color-coded, and we did change the order a little bit on the last 2 days because our gold blended in with some other people's colors. So we reserved our predominant color, which is the aqua for the last day. So there is a set order to wear the shirts. We have white, black, aqua, and gold shirts. Those are also available to order. But the most important thing at this time is to reserve your seats on the charter that will leave on the 2nd of April, returning on the 7th. $200 reserve your seat. Thank you.
You guys excited? Y'all excited? From as far as I can remember, I think for the past 3 or 4 years, we've always carried a full team, the Carifta. That's around 70 to 80 athletes, right? Ever since we went to just strict qualifiers, that has paid off for us, right? So I think, my prediction is I think we're going to win in excess of 20 gold medals this year. That's my prediction, right? We did 16 last year. Let's aim for 20 or more this year. I think we could do it, right? One event in particular that I forgot to mention, under 20 boys, 400 meters. We have 5 guys who have run 47 point for the season. 5. So that sets up for a very good 4x4 relay team, right? So anyway, that actually brings this press conference today to a close. We're going to ask our CEO to come and bring the word of thanks. That is Miss Maybelline Miller. She's coming to the podium right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say a special thank you to all of you attending this event today, taking time with your busy schedule to attend, those online as well. We want to say thank you for attending this Carifta Trials press conference today. I want to thank those who participated in the program, Mr. Sheldon Longley, B3A's VP of Public Relations and Marketing, for being our MC. Those who brought remarks, Mr. Alexis Roberts, team head coach, Ms. O'Shea Smith, the team assistant manager, Mr. Darren Lightbourne, B3A BAAC president, also Ms. Laura Pratt-Charlton for bringing an update on the Carifta Charter, remarks by our president, Mr. Jamaica Watcher, and laying out the criteria for team selection. Also to Mr. Mike Sands, president of NACAC. We want to say thank you for your remarks today. Thanks to the media for attending this event, and I'm sure we will see you at the naming of the Carifta team. Again, thanks to all of you. Enjoy the remainder of your day, and see you at the Carifta Trials.
So guys, once again, it's March 20th to 22nd at the original Thomas A. Robertson Track and Field Stadium. We're going to open the floor for questions right now. Feel free.
With regards to family island participation, do we anticipate having less family island participation as a result of the high school national being put after the trials?
No, because we still have regionals. And so that, I think that they're distinctly different. Every aspirant wanting to make the Carifta team will be here at the Carifta Trials. It's only really a stimulus now that we think that we have engaged larger numbers of Family Island athletes, since the government has a very ambitious initiative where they're having track and field competitions within the Family Islands. And that is a part of a recruitment and development program that I think will redound some benefit to the Federation. And so I'm expecting larger numbers of Family Island athletes competing at our trials. Huh? Question for me.
Could you clarify again his stance on multiple qualifiers, particularly as relates to computer athletes competing abroad and local athletes competing at home?
Okay, so the B3As, since September of this year, published qualifying standards. And those qualifying standards are available to not only athletes who are resident in the Bahamas, but also athletes who are Bahamians who live offshore or who compete in universities and high schools offshore are also able to qualify and achieve the same standard. The only challenge is, in many instances, because of the competition schedule, many of those offshore athletes are unable to come and compete at the trials. So we've always exempted those at that category of athletes. However, what we do say is, if at head-to-head competition, you qualify at the at our local Carifta trials, and Makilo, who is in Jamaica, also qualifies, then we must look at the quality of performances under those varying circumstances. So if there is a different wind reading, we do a calculation to bring you back all comparing apples to apples. What we do say is, with a variance, if the person offshore is significantly better in his performance than the person who qualified locally, our optimum objective is to identify the best candidate to compete. And in so doing, we say that if you qualify offshore and your performance exceeds the performance of the local performance, then that individual would be priority in team selection. Is that clear? Yeah? Yeah? If there are no further questions, thank you.
All right, we want to thank everybody for coming out today. We're going to allow the head table to take a photo, a group photo in front of the backdrop. All right, thank you.